I'm gonna pause for a second and just stretch. Let anyone who notices this getting back in. And try and remember real quick what the fuck we were doing. 'Cause that's kind of important. Oh shit, this tells you the controls. That would have been nice. Actions and interact. X is okay, so yeah, X and R1 are the same thing. L1 is to highlight. Yeah. And you use your sticks depending on what item you're using and what hand. Don't be afraid to say weird things. People are more forgiving to persons of power, like police officers. Oh. Need to do something behind Lieutenant Kitsuragi's back? Sneak out after he's gone to sleep. Short on money? Equip a plastic bag, collect bottles, and sell them to Freet. Dude! There's a whole tip bar you can look through. That's fucking cool! That's so helpful! How do I equip a plastic bag? Where the fuck are plastic bags? Handkerchief, postcard. Okay. Let's talk to this guy real quick. See if he changed his
How can I help you?
stuff. I came to Martini's investigating a murder. I need to know what's behind the gate. I'm a bit short on money right now. Can you give me
Sure
some
thing,
of
my
it?
friend. I can help you out.
He flips a coin towards you. Try to catch it. Yeah.
The coin narrowly slips by your outstretched
Yeah.
fingers and falls to the ground.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to throw it like that. It's a thing we harbor folk do, passing around cargo and such.
That's
It's not
alright.
meant as provocation or ridicule.
It's
The
alright.
boyadero stares at you with respect, then gestures towards the trickles of blood adorning your clothes.
What? Appreciate
Right,
it.
always glad to help out the RCM.
Yeah.
We're on the same branch, you and I. Humans, I mean, not slithering scabs.
Okay, so asking for money actually isn't super bad. I'm gonna
Murder,
ask him
huh?
about the murder.
That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder.
It's actually very fun and easy. Fuck, that's goddamn great. You're right, it's almost impossible. I'm 91% sure I'll never get it solved. I have no idea what I'm doing. Wait, you want to help me solve it by telling me who did it? Nah. I've got to say this one.
Probably not. I wouldn't even know where to start with that. Much better here at the harbor, for an honest union man like me.
Fair enough.
My friend, I
Who's behind
respect
the
the
gate?
right to roam. The open range awaits.
He gazes over to the road about with a glint of longing.
I
Does
don't
this mean
operate
you
in
can
that capacity.
let me through the gate?
I'm not a granter of passage. The passage grants itself.
That's simple.
I walk right past Measurehead and go in. Yeah, the
I think I
2.5
met
meter
him.
tall Semini supremacist up there.
Yeah,
Walk right past him.
right.
Then press the button to unlock the door. Then go past him again. And you enter
Okay.
the arbor through the office. Está.
For some reason, it doesn't seem we stoop to begging, huh? Yeah, I need money. For some reason, it doesn't seem like it's gonna be that easy.
Don't worry, I'm sure it's not completely impossible. For example, you could best measure head in a physical confrontation.
Could I?
Or you could
He's
convert to a
huge.
semi-supremacist worldview. Or, maybe it actually is completely impossible.
Yeah. Has anyone here even bested him in a physical confrontation? Yeah, my poor soul indeed. Has any of the scabs tried confronting his worldview?
Jean-Luc himself would say the philosophy has proven overly heroic for the scabs to convert to. Not enough intuition.
Has anyone ever
Not
bested
yet,
him?
no.
Yeah, sounds about right.
He's incredibly strong.
Yeah, okay, good. I'm not fucking stupid.
Sure.
Okay, I think I've asked him everything. Good talking to you. He's not that bad. At least he understands what he is. We're gonna go beg for money now. Spare some coin for a poor, poor loser.
Hello again, sweetie.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ask everything now. You seem to be in a chair.
Yes, dear. I'm a paraplegic.
A paraplegic is someone with limited or no ability to use the lower half of their body. Paraplegia is caused by spinal cord injuries, like falling from a great height, or a grenade explosion.
A grenade? Did you fight in a war? It was a little rude of me to mention. Did you fight in a
No,
war?
dear. I'm not quite that old, although I was injured in the line of duty.
Tightrope walker. I feel like I was a mountaineer. Tightrope walker. I like the tightrope walker
Nothing
one.
so extravagant, dear. Though what young girl doesn't dream of soaring over a crowd?
What did you do
I
then?
was a training and development manager at a rapidly expanding mail order shoe company.
This went better than I thought it would.
You'd think it would be a safe job, but I had to be everywhere, and well, once I happened to be under some faulty scaffolding. I
Oh.
was lucky. This was almost 20 years ago, and I was compensated exceptionally well. One can only dream of such payoffs nowadays.
Shit. It's kind of rude
That's
of me.
quite all right. I'm used to people asking questions. I know they're thinking about it anyway.
Yeah.
There is no bitterness in her voice. She accepted the curiosity her condition inspires a long time ago.
Yeah, I guess enough people ask you, it's kind of fair enough. Sweetie needs money. Do sweeties
Oh,
get money?
sweetie, I heard your conversation with the manager about your financial troubles. When do you get your next paycheck?
Never.
If she could, this woman would feed and clothe you and every other sad, lost person on this earth.
What is a paycheck? I haven't seen any paychecks.
You must be joking. Although our pay does sometimes feel like a joke.
Yeah.
It's not easy to assert your right to a decent living wage when you don't have a strong union behind you. Maybe you should talk to Everard, the union leader.
Interesting idea. This Everard sounds powerful. Maybe you can wrangle some coins out of his pocket.
I could probably do this. I have a high chance to understanding Lena's idealism.
Your deportment remains dignified as you shed a single manly tear.
Single manly tear. It isn't easy for me to ask this of anyone when I am at the end of my rope. Any money you have could help.
Sweetie, I only have a few cents on me, but I could give you this to pawn. Just to tide you over.
No, I'll just take like 5 cents. I don't care.
Wonderful. He has a pin.
The pin is round and slightly tarnished. 3 sailboats in bas relief with the sun hovering over the water behind them. A chipped green banner at the bottom reads, San Baptiste, Summer 31, Dinghy Races.
Come on. It's my skill set. I legit picked the best skill set for begging. Actually, what was that? Suggestion? Yeah, I'm gonna level that up later. What is it? To pawn?
It's easy. You bring a valuable item to a pawnbroker, who then gives you money for it. You can get it back later for a slightly larger sum if it hasn't been sold, but you never end up doing that anyway.
That's fact.
Cross the plaza and follow the road along the coast. Down by the water, there'll be a shack nestled against an old stone facade. That's the pawn shop. An old friend of my husband's goes there often. He says the owner is quite helpful.
Items that can be pawned at Bird's Nest Roy's appear in your inventory under the Items tab. You can pawn these items when talking to Roy.
That's neat. So I need to find Bird Nest Roy's. Our seller. This'll help out.
You're quite welcome, dear. Yes, officer. You look rather dazed. Like a stunned fox. But surely things can't be that bad.
Oh, they are. I just asked you for money. They're terrible. I hope you're right. Yeah, I'm blowing this whole thing out of proportion. Forgot I said it. I hope you're right.
You know where we are, right?
The Whirling in Rags cafeteria. Yeah. It was on my keys.
That's right. And where is the Whirling in Rags cafeteria itself located?
I didn't take her watch. She gave me a pin. She gave me a little pin. It's, I can't look at it right now, but yeah. And Revachol.
Yes, indeed. We are in the fine city of Revachol.
What kind of place
How
is
would I
this?
even begin to tell you? Revachol is the most beautiful city in the world. We're fortunate to be here, you and I.
Yeah, well, I told you now.
I haven't seen very many other cities personally, but everyone says so. Revachol is a rare jewel. This city used to rule the world, though it has seen better days.
Yeah, I bet.
Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes?
It's a bad year in my late 40s or 50s. I don't even know how old I am.
There. The year is 51, and spring has
Okay.
only just started. I'm sure there are better days ahead.
Yeah, I actually
The
don't know how old I
lieutenant
am.
studies you, rubbing his chin. I'm beginning to suspect that you might indeed be completely adrift in this reality, thinks the lieutenant. How can it be that bad? Never mind. We're in this now.
I can tell that this is taxing for
Holy
you, so I'll just
shit.
ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government?
Fuck, I don't know. Democracy. I'd like to think it's a dictatorship of proletarians. Our leaders are fierce warriors who traverse the plains on steeds. Civilization cowers before us. We are governed by intelligent machines that perform calculations to determine the freest market. Everyone hustles and grinds like a badass visionary. Radios are being used to control people's minds and distort our perception of reality, concealing our true master, foreigners and women. Cop. We are living under the cop regime. I'm gonna say that one. I kinda wanna say that one, actually. Ah, but the Steed one's so fucking good. Fuck it, I'm saying the Steeds.
Oh, no. Nothing like that, dear. Revachol is a zone of control led by an alliance of foreign powers called the Coalition.
Holy shit.
We have almost no government of our own, and certainly not one who's horseback.
So, the foreigners and women one was actually pretty close. If there's no government, how come there are cops? I don't even know what to say, I'm so disappointed.
Oh dear.
Yeah, how are there cops?
This is troubling. You really ought to know that, being one yourself. There aren't any cops in Revachol, not in the traditional sense. The status of law enforcement has been a complicated matter since the revolution. But we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break. Besides, I'm not the best person to explain the big things to anyone.
You're doing better than anyone else right now.
She's scared now. She's realized you really are brain damaged.
Shit. Yeah, what's the revolution?
A defeat, I'm afraid. The people of this archipelago tried to build something new, something different. The rest of the world didn't like it, so they came and ended it. This was 42 years ago.
Damn. Pretty long ago, at least. What does that have to do with there being any cops?
It has something to do with everything. I really don't know how to explain it better.
I mean, if I'm in my 50s, or if I'm even in, like, my late 40s, heaven forbid, that's back when I was, like, a kid. I wouldn't know much
I'm
about
just a
it,
poor woman,
unless they taught
she
me.
thinks. What do I know of these things? And how can I help you?
So how did I do?
You didn't do too well, dear. It does look like you're having trouble remembering things. History and places. Remembering reality, in a word. It's very odd.
A sigh. The lieutenant buries his nose in his notebook.
But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what the world needs. And while I'm no doctor, such bouts of amnesia are often temporary, so I wouldn't worry too much.
Who could tell me more?
Someone more educated in sweeping matters. Maybe you should ask.
No, I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either. I'm a detective.
Of course. Then I don't know. Someone rich, maybe? Wealthy people are educated. Though I don't know where you would find a wealthy person in Martinez. I hope you were able to pawn that old trinket.
Yeah, you should have it
Oh,
back.
thank you, dear. I confess I am glad to see it again.
Yeah.
Even the lieutenant seems happy with this turn of events.
Now, what else, sweetie?
But I did gain valuable information from that. I thought she was just gonna give me a little bit of chump change. I was fine with that. Not her fucking...
That sugary black rum stain on the counter
Shit.
makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's
Her own
almost touching
personal
how syrupy and
belongings.
sticky it is. How long have you been up already?
Hour, 2 hours, pretty long. Just drink a lot. Not now.
Oh, excuse me. Do you have something better to do than lust for sweet syrupy rum and lemonade? With a twist of lemon? Maybe lime? Maybe who cares? Just rum?
Resist the intrusive thoughts. It's all about money, you know. Yeah, who's the sleeping guy? A man is sleeping at a table wearing mud-cracked boots and a rolled-down overalls. The back of his shirt reads Wild Pines, encircled by a logo with a tree.
On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine. The man does not mind. You probably need them more than he does.
You've just picked up some magnesium. This item is stored in
I'm
the
gonna
bottom
skip
left
that.
corner of the...
There is only one way to awake this bone idol from his slumber. Roar like a hurricane. Rip the buildings from the earth.
Yes,
Why the yelling, man?
just a primordial stream. I'd do that right now, but I don't want to be rude to my neighbors. You're alive. You looked out for a long count there. I just wanted to see what would happen if I yelled.
Congratulations. You've seen the future. Now, if you excuse me again, officer.
Officer, even after a rude awakening, this dock worker respects the police. More than they usually do, at least.
I kind of want to know more about Wild Pines because they seem like an integral part to the whole murder. Are you sleeping here while others are out striking? Who's behind organizing the strikes? What about the dead body in the yard? Yours, point to the bottle of spilt rum. I'm gonna ask about
That's the
Wild Pines.
name of my employer. I work in logistics.
He doesn't sound too enthusiastic about this.
How's that going?
How's it going?
He is so tired.
Haven't you noticed what's going on outside?
Of course, it's total madhouse. Yeah, that's just true.
Good. Then you understand the gist of it. We would all be better off without the employers and their employment. For one, I can get some goddamn shut-eye. Right to sleep, I say.
See anything else interesting in your dreams?
No.
Damn. Was that a fathomless darkness into which we ought to be deferred like corpses of a mausoleum? Pure nothingness, your consciousness no longer than a single grain of malt. Tell me, was it a bliss free of X something? You're right, let's talk about something else. I
The
like the
worker
first one.
stares at you, his eyes dry from sleep. A web of wrinkles covers his tanned forehead.
I don't know what you're talking about, kind sir. But when I'm out, then I'm really out. No corpses. No mausoleums. Just quality time.
A little me
That sounds like a
time
nice sleep.
in the abyssal pelagic zone. You can never return to it now. Only detective work remains. Wakefulness and detection.
Why are you sleeping here, though?
They got it. Majoret's got it. He's guarding the gate. I'm just getting some sleep. Or was.
Yeah, till I went all fucking pterodactyl screech by you. Yeah,
We
who's behind
are.
the strike?
The workers. The union. We know what we need. What's right for us.
You mean there's no leader?
Okay. I guess there's also Everard. He's in
That's what I
charge of
thought.
the union. He's smart. Knows how to negotiate. He's got our back.
Okay. You know
Yeah.
about the dead body?
What about it?
You seem cool with it. Do you have any of those hanging from the trees here? Many of those. I'm just trying to find out what you know about
You
it.
know, people die here every day. Someone's found in a ditch, another one falls in a manhole. The third one gets eaten by stray dogs. If someone has decided to die on top of a tree, then how is it my concern?
Yeah, he didn't choose that. It looks like I'm that someone. Tell me what you know.
I can tell you this. Trouble's ahead.
What trouble?
You heard what I said. Draw your own conclusions. That's all I know, and I prefer to keep it this way.
The lieutenant gives you a little nod, then makes a note in his blue notebook. So Union people think he was a killer, he thinks. Even sleepy hair. This doesn't help a lot,
Even
but it's
sleepy
something.
hair.
Good work, detective.
I'm gonna point to the right.
Indeed. Help yourself to some. Wait. No. Oh, it's empty. Sorry about that. Oh.
Yeah. Cool though, he would have let me have some. Alright, I'll
The
let you
dock
sleep.
worker doesn't answer. His head is already back down on the table, in sweet sleep.
Endurance! I kinda need it. Pain threshold, physical instrument. I'm... Take the blows. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, that was lit up because I had it for a second, and I got rid of it. Conceptualization. Okay. That's everything in there, finally. Coin-operated viewer. On the cover stands a very muscular man surrounded by flames. The book is titled Man from Heimdall and the Wildfire. Heimdall, whatever. The book has a rose, a pistol, and a half-naked dame on its cover. The book appears to be an erotica, but without actual erotica. Damn it! I hate those. This book, you don't really understand what it is about, nor does it seem important. A book about the future the government reads your mind using radio technology. Speaking of, I was about to fucking say something like that. A book about the Bordero culture. It promotes something.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open.
Hello.
Are you interested in a new and exciting book?
She stomps her feet to feel warmer. What kind of store?
Okay,
You'd ask
sir.
some
I'll try
questions.
to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books. My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organising the stock.
Okay. This is the window, then jolts her eyes wide if she's calling
Feel
something.
free to step in and browse our wares.
You're standing out here in the cold because...
I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
A sudden gush of wind turns the pages of the books on the counters. She covers her face, smiling. But she's cold.
Cold.
kind
I
of
help?
you to offer, sir.
What could you do to help her anyway?
Already learning the value of hard work. By brutally dismantling the free market. You could have a
Oh, no,
word
sir.
with your
I'm
mom.
happy to help Mum by luring in customers. Besides, I have some hot juice in my vacuum bottle to keep warm.
Vacuum bottle? She's a good kid. Shouldn't you be at school, though?
I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running.
She's better than those other two kids. The Kunes and the Kun. Isn't going to school more important than this?
Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed.
Kun asshole.
Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed.
Behind her, the window has been boarded up. You sense the boards creaking, twisting for a second, and some kind of doubt in her tense shoulders.
Good to hear that it's going well. Cursed
Cursed in
how?
the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go...
Ass up.
I wouldn't really say it like that, but I guess so.
I don't think curses are real. Sounds rather serious.
We can go into the bookstore and ask about the case, but I don't see much more to look into here.
Yes. Please do also look at our wares inside. The postcards and board games are there, sir.
What do you know about the other failed businesses?
Nothing really, sir. Mum doesn't allow me to sneak around in the back rooms or the cellar. I don't really know what's there.
How does this curse manifest
It does
itself?
not manifest itself in any way. It does not exist. I liked it better when we were talking about whether it's appropriate to stand out in the freezing weather.
Fine, I'll show you.
Anything else you wanted to talk about, sir?
Enough about the
Maybe
curse.
I can tell you about some of our books instead.
What is it, crime
Crime
business?
fiction is about murders or burglaries or
Damn it.
things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals.
Not crime fiction. I need to know what crime is. God. What did anyone want to read about crime? Okay, I get it. Crime, murder gets the people going. Why would anyone want to read
It's
about crime?
exciting to people, I guess. They get to imagine dangerous things, and it's kind of like a puzzle, where you can guess who the criminal is, or how the good guys are going to catch him.
Yeah, I have no idea who the criminal is.
You don't look much like a policeman.
Ow! Everyone else somehow knows I am. Yeah, what does a cop look like then?
Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen.
Hey, that's my name, according to my entire fucking precinct. I used to be exactly what that Mullen guy. Like that Mullen guy, then I decided to live a little. You know, nobody actually looks like the guys in the picture. That's just a stupid fantasy of a man. It's not your body that's important in police work. Anyways, it's your... Honestly, my head's not all there anyways. Look at the guy. Look at that guy. I'll never be as good as Mullen.
Head? Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's
No.
your soul. Your blue soul.
Nah, it's in the head. Soul. That Mullen guy looks like a Hampelman? The fuck? Who could respect that face? It's not even drawn correctly. He lacks soul.
I'm not sure I understand.
I didn't know this is where this was going. I thought it was in my head. An ingraining sense of the law. No one would follow a weakling like Mullen.
If you say so, sir. He's just a fictional character. He's no match for your soul. Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books.
Stare at you with harsh disapproval. What is a romance?
It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man. Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir.
What about a poor man getting a rich lady? What about when both the men are bad? What about when everyone is poor? What about a book where the man and lady business doesn't work out at all?
That's really
What about
not a
everyone's
proper
poor?
romance story. That's more like everyday life.
Ugh. Sometimes you have to write about real life things.
Not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people, and everyone is happy in the end.
We need to get her some dark romance books. What about both
These
of
are
them being
not
bad?
very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Nobody wants to read a story like that.
What if it's written
Well,
really well?
Maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting. It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process, or should actually be rich himself but has lost his family property unjustly, like during the revolution or something. Those are unhappy books for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out just fine in the end. I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum.
Maybe I will.
I'm sure she can help out. Maybe some about other books?
What's this? I'm going to deduce something now. Oh, she wants me to show police business. Saw she's cold, afraid of the curse. I'm gonna ask these and see if I can get any more
kings and
bonuses.
and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians, those kinds of people. There's usually something extraordinary about them. I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame.
Okay.
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
But it does make the famous people more famous.
True. True. Fucking, that's actually really true though. It works. It's kind of a shame that it works, but it works. Fame sounds delicious. Maybe someone will write a book about me one day. Fame is for vain people. I have better things to do. The famous people sound like a bunch of dorks.
Okay, sir.
Can you stop calling me sir? I am but a working man.
No, sir, I can't. It would be too tiring to refrain from it. It's already tiring enough to remember to say it all the time. It's nice of you to say I could stop, though.
Can't stop making this face. Point at your face. I don't know what my face looks like.
That's a friendly enough face, most of the time.
I don't know what my face looks like. Good to know it's friendly, though. Despite the thought of it being an amorphous blob of disgustingness. Make the check. Make the check. Make the check.
You fail to
Oh!
deduce anything substantial. She waits intently.
that you are a girl. I'm a detective. I deduce that you are very small. I'm sorry, I can't deduce anything.
It's okay, sir.
You disappointed a small child. Well done, Jim.
Ah, my morale, fuck. Oh, that's not good. I can go inside. I tried. Gift books and molten candy. Old sport magazines tucked away in a dark corner.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise. An endless variety of source books, lore books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book is titled Welkin Compendium, 2nd edition. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Katawak, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a Pick Your Path adventure game book titled Tales of Wirral, Cavern of Velkrag. Books in a board game section? Who wants to read books?
Maybe I'm not into all of the Binaclard stuff. Anything
There's
that
a
catches
box
my eye, though?
that says Wirral, 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplements Module. The side
Jeez.
panel notes, a fantastique adventure board game.
25.
New maps and miniatures. A sticker on it displays 25 real.
What Boreums do you have
Wonderful board games, sir. The Viticulturist is a classic for sure, or perhaps you'd like Archipelagos of Insulinda, a very educational game for those interested in geography. Browbritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children.
here? I don't have
Who are
children.
you going to play board games with? Do you have friends or family?
Do I have friends? Look at the tin.
Are you actually friends? Or just colleagues thrown together by circumstance?
Who would want to have children with me? I don't feel as if I have any kids.
Friends are technically like family. For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations. It'll cost 12 real. Lousy auras there. No, role-playing
Auras?
games are popular among those types. You know, who are into those kind of things. Personally, I don't like it. Not at all.
Getting dissed about our role-playing games in a role-playing game.
I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts. That they have rituals where they try to summon entities. Highly immoral stuff. You can still buy them, though.
I can't buy shit. Fuck you mean? I can't think of anything she'd have to know about the murder.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. My name is Plaisance. Be welcome, and please take responsibility
You
for
seem
the
to be
energy
well
you
off.
bring into this space.
Give me some money. I feel there won't be an opportune moment to ask
Sir,
later.
don't be ridiculous. I certainly will not give you money. I would be doing you a grave psychic disfavour. One has to earn one's success, even if one is a police officer. Handouts are nothing but manipulation. All they do is make you dependent.
I'm poor though.
I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture.
The girl outside mentioned that this place is cursed.
Cursed? Who said that? Annette? I will have a word with her. This place is not cursed. It has a robustly magnetic energy. Good for commercial activity. My business is thriving, sir.
I doubt that.
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl?
She had her post doing her job. Yes, of course. Oh, she was definitely slacking off. Doesn't matter now. Tell me. Yes, of course.
Wonderful. Did you talk to her?
Yes.
Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her?
Her opinion of her daughter depends on how well she lured you into the store.
I'm not going to grade a human being. I don't do that.
Come now. It's not personal. It's about proper sales practices and market research. I expect an answer.
Fine, 10. She's very polite and helpful.
My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette.
The way you're handling her strikes me as wrong. She's quite the trooper. She's great value add. I'm here to dismantle the free market and abolish child labor. Honestly, kinda want to. Your handling her strikes me as wrong.
Mind your own business, sir. In our society, people don't get to tell each other how to raise their children. It's none of your or anyone's business. You must
Abolish
be kidding.
child labor.
There's nothing like that happening.
Depends how much do you pay the
Good,
kid.
sir. What does a young child do with money anyway? No, I save it for her as a fund. She's securing her financial future out there. Indeed.
Guess I was mistaken.
Are we done with the jokes now?
I don't like her.
Yes, we've had quite enough fun here. Right.
The woman before you scans the store, her shoulders rigid and tense. Every
Goodness, you were already doing good, browsing the shelves. Why'd you stop? Don't you feel compelled? Go, go. Get back there. The books await you.
Yeah, she does have a stick up her ass.
Everything is on the shelves. Take a look yourself.
She
Alright.
smiles and nods, seemingly relieved.
Farewell. Shitty person can't even recommend me a book in this massive bookstore. I like this upstairs bit. Quart picture book. Pictures. Tome of fascist
Plant on the
magic.
shelf reads biographies of famous people. You see a large variety of names, none of which ring a bell.
Look through this
Browsing
way.
through all the books with all their names makes your head spin. None of these seem important or relevant. Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob Irv and Alfie Delatraz, by one Cecilia Averbrook. High Speed Love
So it's a
chronicles the
third-person take.
romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. One of them is the madcap driver, Jacob Irv. His blonde mane graces the cover.
His blonde mane.
Next to
Wow.
Irv's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs and cocaine into the other.
Jeez.
Next to that, Rivasholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown
Shoot drugs
drug
into
den.
both of your eyes at the
He's
same
a permanent
time.
fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real-life crime and ruining cops' days.
Wait, who is that? Rivasholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy. Alright, I should look out for him.
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free. Do still browse, though, but not too long. I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead. Take your time. Time is commerce.
Anything
I
of note
would
here?
say
Since you want to butt in.
The greatest innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool, delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to innocentic power.
What's innocence?
A very
Now, you made me
influential
worry.
historical figure. But surely I don't have to tell you that. You're a law officer, and law officers have at least some education. The
No,
book
I
is also
don't.
very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things.
So I assume you've read it and you like the idea of the innocentic system, whatever the fuck that is. I thought it was about which of these innocences is the coolest and greatest. So you recommend it? Great. I don't need to know anymore, honestly.
Shelves
Yeah,
full
I don't
of
want to hear
biographies
her.
of famous people, whoever they are.
Leave.
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez.
Okay, first,
The
Revachol.
north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the River Esperance. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. La Delta says a great artificial heart in the center, teeming with life forms and construction. To the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Marie, the suburbs of Saint-Baptiste, swallowed up into the megacity. They sound rich to you. This is Revachol East.
And west.
Houdon, it's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad.
Jamrock, that's where I'm from.
People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Forburg. It's almost as bad and much larger.
So I'm
Then
west.
Coal City.
If I live
It's
somewhere.
the worst.
Coalburg's the worst.
You feel you're just west of Coal City, somewhere above Jamrock and close to Coal City.
I need to get past the gate into the fucking dock area so that I can go all the way around and get my jacket. Because I don't want to fucking jump off a cliff. And I also need to find the fucking gardener. And I have no idea where either of those things go. So I'm just fucking looking around. And these maps aren't fucking helping. Can I buy these maps?
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. And besides, you could scarcely afford them. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though.
Why is that one so cheap?
That old thing. It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps.
I've seen all of those things.
They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. It'd be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business.
You could steal it.
It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. A picture postcard with buildings on it, drawn from an isometric perspective. A date in the upper right corner says 48. Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of an industrial harbor, even the whirling in rags there.
Okay. So we're in Martinez.
This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is La Caillou. You are here. Another far away in the southwest, Seminese Islands, Ile de Fantôme. Ozon, Laurentide, Face à la Mer, Archipelagos, North Arcade Islands, all just specks of dust on the vastness of the Insulindic. On the edges of the map, the color fades into a blur of dotted lines, black and white, disintegrating into mathematics.
Visual calculus.
In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou in a bookstore. It's you.
That's nice. Can you see cities on the island?
You can, on Caillou, Revachon, a single black star, on Ozon, Fondelier, and Vilmandu, on archipelagos, Croyan-Moran, Villiers, on Semenine, Olduvai, and on Laurentide, Deora of the Seven Seas.
Okay, so we're south.
Lost little pearls of light,
So is my house north?
tiny fires in the dark.
I think that's what I'm getting here.
The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Windy is the north azimuth. Grad is the northeast azimuth. Samara is the east azimuth. Seol is the west azimuth. Isolas, they're called. Connections to other worlds, words past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You only know you've never been there. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars, gods, but looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you, and very, very far away. Perhaps they are gods, gods of distance and outer dust.
Okay. Let's look here. Another boring book, just discarded.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of paranatural literature. Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about wholeness, unity, balance. The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services. It serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to, and which costs more than this book, is garbage, and would only give you cancer anyway, without even curing your cold or anything. Wholeness, unity, balance, on the other hand, can basically take care of anything. Though it is important to note, when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill in the first place. It's your own fault if you're ill. Got it?
Does the book say anything?
The book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. It even lists plants you can harvest magnesium from.
Oh.
How to continue drinking if you're an alcoholic who has destroyed his liver. There's even a chapter on the ancient Seraïs tradition of using duck gallbladder, preservatives, to treat and prevent sexually transmitted diseases. Pre and post factum apply. Nothing worth buying. This is just mundane garbage. What's even paranatural about this?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's exactly what the fuck I was thinking.
Sir, please, no browsing in that shelf. That wisdom is not for free. I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no!
Alright. Find something truly otherworldly.
The throbbing in your head increases with every passing moment you gaze at this shelf. Suddenly, as if out of nowhere, a small green book becomes apparent. The title of it reads, Medicinal Purposes of the Pale.
What's the pale?
The book contains very little explanation on the matter. This knowledge seems to be taken for granted.
What's it about?
The book contains descriptions of various pseudoscientific therapies, alternative medicines, and folk remedies involving the pale, also known as le territoire. For example, it recommends vigorously swatting one's naked body with a venik, or hand broom, made from the leafy twigs of a young birch tree from the near pale.
Sounds painful.
It is supposedly invigorating and good for the circulation.
What
It
else?
also recommends consuming distilled spirits like vodka or whiskey that have been aged in the pale. Readers are instructed to cover these jars in a shallow hole just inside the pale and leave them there for 30 to 60 days, depending on the potency desired.
What does the pale age
Among
liquor
other
do?
benefits, it is alleged to restore a damaged liver to perfect health.
I should probably get my hands on some of that. What else is in there?
For general health and well-being, readers are encouraged to take regular strolls through the pale, though a sidebar cautions readers to limit each stroll to less than an hour. These strolls promise to cleanse the mind of worries and the body of toxins, especially if the perambulator performs this ritual in the nude. Nudity figures prominently in a number of these prescriptions. This is exactly what you need. There's an entire section devoted to cures for men who are struggling to perform their marital obligations.
Well, I certainly don't
You
need that.
close the book and return it to its place on the shelf.
Well, if that was an option, and it actually makes you put the fucking thing down.
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
Shopkeeper, what's behind these curtains?
Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? The books are all you care about.
She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell on you, urging you to buy more books. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become.
Is that a
You
strange
see some
cage-like
kind of
trinket?
charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you.
Ugh.
Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time.
Open it.
Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
It's about the curse, that's why you're afraid. That's probably why. It's different. I'm a police officer. I need to get in there. But I sense this place is calling for me. It must be investigated beyond the threshold.
No, it's just a storeroom for the employees, I told you. Now please step away from the curtains.
And this is different.
Why? It's not like anyone was killed there.
Baffled by her own bluntness.
I am sorry. I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that. You do? My God, even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir.
Alright, I'll think about it.
Thank you. Let's just talk about this first, all right? There's no reason for you to venture into the unknown.
There is something mysterious about the curtains. Be careful. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you.
I'll come back. I'm ripping those curtains open eventually. But right now, I respect her decision. Broken window, Tibbs.
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible.
Poor little
The metal
viewer.
feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic.
Probably some kids.
Look
A
inside it.
thick layer of graffito covers the lenses.
Oh.
You spell out the word Onuk written on the other side, with N and C scribbled backwards.
Fucking Kuno!
Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts, lanky weather-worn wooden planks, an X-shaped cross topping its tower. The church looks old and weather-worn. There are no lights in the windows.
If you had a bag in your hand, perhaps you could collect these bottles to sell them. How do I get a bag? Ask and you shall receive. You hear a distant squall of seabirds. Tool. Bag.
This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The instruction manual says to insert 25 centimes and pull the handle while looking inside. Then use the focus knob to zoom in if necessary.
Not right now. Roundabout north. And Martinet Pier. I think the pier is where I should go then. A lonely coromant surveys the sea, indifferently to my approach. The belly of this boat shines like it is recently painted. Someone's trying to fix it then, maybe. Nah, I don't want to go down there yet.
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
Impossible. Why am I looking at this wall? Leave it for now. It's painted over. Magnesium and that. So that's the Kunes. That'll probably take me in somewhere. What's down here then? I was curious about this one. Oh, is it locked? Seems so. Just a closed door, but it looks at me suspiciously. chairs and tables eaten by rain and rot.
Can't get involved in this.
Garden hose. Ah, that's what that was.
Must be another way to do it.
What the fuck was that, buddy? Kim, you can talk to me. You don't have to say it like a fucking demon. Jesus. Rue de Saint-Ghislain and roundabout north. Demonic Gremlin. Yeah, fucking Cape Side Apartments. Ooh, trash?
Hey, up here, Piggo.
Ooh! Oh, I also got a hat. Suggestion. Ah. And -1 to half-light. Official poise. What's the jacket I have on right now? Esprit de Corps. That's only somewhat useful. Suggestion seems like it'd be helpful.
Look at me when I'm talking
Yes!
to you.
I look fucking ridiculous now. Awesome. Who's talking to me? Inside the frame of a motorcycle in repair and tools used to dismantle it. Look at all this blood. There's a girl up there. Did she spill the paint?
Up
Oh.
here, Piggo.
Trash. Magnesium. Docking reserved for residents of Rue de Saint-Ghislain. Or whatever.
A
However you
striking
say
woman
that.
leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling
cool
as
boat.
you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce.
She extends her
Joyce
hand in
L.
greeting.
Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
She seems pretty official.
Phaeton, my maiden name.
I'm not respecting her. What exactly is the RCM? I remember hearing it from somewhere.
I meant you, the Revachol Citizens Militia, the police.
Oh, we're a militia. You gave us away.
Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
What is implied here? That you're a drunk?
Yes.
She hasn't actually said it to every drunk in town. It was spoken in jest.
I'm not a drunk, I'm a
Of
police
course you're
officer.
not. It was only a joke.
Shake
I'm
her
glad
head.
to see you here.
Grip it firmly.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will. Gladly.
Good.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
I assure you of his ultimate competency.
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even. The lieutenant is hatching some scheme.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
Oh.
It's hard to get a read on her precise disposition, but she appears helpful.
She does. What do you
What
know about the
we
Wild
do?
Pines?
I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
So what do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms. I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
That's pretty good.
8 billion?
What exactly is 8 billion? Wait, my encyclopedia doesn't know what a billion is. Shit. I thought Wild Pines was supposed to be big time. Numbers like that mean nothing to me. The money I owe is so much
yes,
less than
past
that.
a certain point, numbers begin to seem imaginary, but they are quite real for the 72,000 employees who depend on Wild Pines for their paychecks.
Yeah, fair
A
enough.
conglomerate the size of Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving and growing, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It is a tremendous responsibility. They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when Pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lomantang on behalf of the suzerain.
That sounds
Centuries
cool.
of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
Such a huge system in a place like this.
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
You don't keep it moving, the workers do.
We built this district. All the best parts of it. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, with its bastions. The plazas Meteor and Mosaic. Even some of the old street lamps have been put back thanks to the investments from the WP. Before Martinez was swallowed by the industrial harbour, even before it was part of Revachol, long before Terminal B was erected here, the Pines built it as a resort for its Revacholian employees.
But a company and investment has nothing without its
getaway
people as well.
for a weekend or a summer holiday. Then came the revolution. But that's another matter. I'm here to make sure the Pines can fulfill their responsibilities to the place they built.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
You're on a boat.
Why, yes, I am.
Not a lot of those on... Not a lot of people on boats, are there? Does she have a name? Do you have a license for this boat? I think I have a handle on the boat thing. Does she have a
The
name?
boat? No. It is called Cordelati 19 because that's the type of sloop it is.
The word "it" feels strange. Such a beautiful boat deserves a proper name.
Yeah. Cool, but your boat really does need a name.
Okay. How about Cordelati 19? Why? Because it was manufactured in Revachol East by a company called Cordelati, and its hull is 19 paces long.
How about Dolores? Nah, sleek fish.
What?
Because it's sleek and
I
fish-like.
think I'll stick with the factory name. But thank you.
Damn. She just told me what kind of boat
My
it is.
sloop? I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
Shut up,
I
Kim.
really do, the lieutenant thinks. Is she thrown off yet? He's looking at the woman, assessing her.
Oh, he likes the way I handle things because he thinks that I'm competent and I'm like throwing people off of the game so that whenever I ask them things eventually, they'll be just put off. Not a lot of people on boats, are there?
Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
What's an archipelago?
I mean, we are on Le Caillou, are we not?
Caillou? Little bald kid? Damn it. I think we were in... I thought we were in Revachol.
We are. And the city of Revachol is on the island of Le Caillou.
Fucking god. So confusing. Still haven't seen anyone sail a boat
I
around
haven't
here.
seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle.
How does she know that?
It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands.
She's having a good time arguing against the law. Too good, perhaps.
You have a license for this boat?
Officer, I assure you I'm a highly qualified pleasure craft operator.
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat's hull as she smiles. Her nonchalance might be related to something called the Wayfarer Act, a law that says she doesn't need a license. Sly Fox, you're not aggressive enough to harass her further on this.
Fair.
Good.
What can you tell me about the strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
Wait. I want to hear about that. Come on.
First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Aliments. That gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus.
An octopus? We'll slay it. How do I repeal it then?
Why? By throwing off half a century of foreign domination under the Coalition. Unfortunately for you, the Coalition also leases you the right to police West Revachol. But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike.
What is your role in it? Yeah.
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
Ah, so she transmits the requests between Wild Pines and the people they're rebelling against.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Yeah, I know him. You mean Measurehead?
Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead.
How were the talks going before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no.
Sounds right.
There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
What happened to Gaumont?
Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
Oh, yeah, not cool.
Keep in mind, This is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the Union.
I'm gonna call him short.
Sounds like usual aggressive posturing.
My authority succeeds a lot. What are there to? I have no extra points in it either. It just does. What are their demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes, every worker, a member of the board.
I don't know what to think about that. Over-aggressive commie posturing. Seems like they have no idea about business.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker, a member of the board.
Yeah, democracy sounds like a good idea. Most of them probably don't know what that means.
Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
It's pretty funny, I have to admit. It kind of is. They think that they could just fucking take that. You're just workers. Jeez. King is dead, long live the workers. The workers can't be kings, the kings can... Nah, it's just
They're
pretty funny.
having a blast.
Yeah.
But how can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumption was they would prefer a more practical solution.
And what are you gonna do about it?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assumed that was just their opening position. A hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, call me mañana.
Mañana.
This checks out.
Scabs at the gate, I should put them there. Tell me more about the union boss, Mr. Clare. That's all. Yeah, tell me about Mr.
Everard
Clare.
Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first. Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
Is he that
He
bad?
is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
There's two of them?
Yes. Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues. The
Yeah.
Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly
That's
normal
fucked.
institution.
It's
20
clever,
years ago,
though.
anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say...
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother. And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Debardeurs Union is...
An effective advocate for the worst of local working men, a giant leech sucking the life out of Revachol. Basically a socialist mob. I prefer not to have my opinion on these things. A giant leech sucking the life of Revachol.
And a hungry one. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the leech always hungers.
Scab's the good. Did you put him there?
Scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the Union refuses to? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not right now, at least.
It's implied she's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
Something with the scabs, then. One more thing. You said something happened in an election.
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
Eerie.
Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a Union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
That's all I need here for now. Let's change
Of
the
course.
topic.
How else
So
can I help?
much about the strike. She was right. Fuck. You can tell me about the lynching. Yeah. You seem smart to give me a lowdown on this reality we're in. You seem rich. Can I have some money? Yeah, let's throw her off with this.
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy.
Why?
Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes, bub.
Lustrous hair.
A well-kempt, yet tastefully short bob of dark hair. Despite the first hints of grey, she's elected to keep it au naturel, shaped into a permanent wave, late 40s style. While dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge and worry. Wealth and all its possibilities. These are the kind eyes of the rich man that seem to say everything is possible. Now look at you, you misery-clad simian, barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes. A scythe of booze precedes you. Your hair sticks to your forehead, and your underwear feels uncomfortable. You're poor, poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too...
Fuck no. Never felt it
Shame?
before.
You haven't really been in the presence of gentlefolk either, have you? What shame is there to be felt in front of these dock workers,
It seemed like a
cops,
good middle
and
ground
hotel
option.
clerks? But to belittle yourself in these eyes of Odinir. Oh God, the lieutenant is here too. Do not dishonor the force.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
+1 heard of billions. I didn't even ask what it was. I genuinely somehow don't know what the fuck billions means. It's amazing.
Quite
Tell me
a
about
few
the lynching.
things, I'm afraid.
Fuck.
The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
Unusual medical episode. My lost badge is related to
I
it.
see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
It's possible after a night of heavy drinking, I lost all of my memory of my life in the world. I could have eaten it for all I know. I don't remember anything. This world, the city, nothing.
Oh dear. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia. I don't even know how to respond. I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking such a condition.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement. She's a negotiator. Just float a favor at her. Insinuates.
Seems like a good idea to do this right now.
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Like what?
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason.
They're profiting from this trade.
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones. Or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
What's that? Seems like there was more construction here once decades ago. Alright, let's talk.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective. Honestly,
hope it
I
will
was
go.
expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchman.
Oh, so we're henchman now. Really? I thought it was going so well.
This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation.
I'm sorry for putting us in this situation. Let me handle it. What do you propose that we don't investigate the drug trafficking?
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we're siding with the Union, or that we're on their take. We'd never hear the end of it. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done, and demand for her information on the lynching.
I'll handle
I'm
it.
sure you will, Detective. Oh,
We could
that
just
would
also
be
find my
fantastic,
badge.
but do we have the time? The world is large, and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters. You could
Yeah.
request a new one from your station, but that would literally take months.
Yeah, they aren't giving one to me anyways.
Look at me when I'm talking to you.
Fucking god. Close the water lock. On the third day, find out who is in the Union box. Guard has told you. Pissing competition. Inspect the victim's body. Get ammonia from the gardener and or the fruit store. It'll make it easier. Pay for damages. Find smokes and smoke them. Track down your badge. Who put the clothes in the trash? Ask Kuno if he knows anything about the victim's clothes in the trash. Who else has authority to access the whirling trash? Find this person and you'll know who tampered with the scene. It may take a while. Read the ledger and name the case. This case needs an official name. Go to your inventory and interact with your damaged ledger to give it one. Oh. I can do that real quick.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the arson,
Case files.
petty theft, spousal abuse, handwritten log.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
No, I mean a
Oh, you mean the
non-numeric one.
titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does.
Why
It's a
is that?
holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
The square bullet hole
Again,
letters?
in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself. I pray his loved ones never find out.
What happened
Rail
to him?
spiked through the head. He died.
Mm.
It was a workplace accident.
How do I... Shit.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Can I read the case files now?
Yes, at
Good.
last. You find a way to piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. HDB 41, date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120111700, the next world mural.
The next world mural?
Why, yes, your precinct number is 41.
Okay.
Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials.
Oh, I found out my initials finally. Ram Darjan Binzenken. Horace Debbie Berenger. Those aren't my initials, I'm not feeling them. Wow, I don't know. I'm gonna try this one. I think what you meant to say is Raphael M. I think what you meant to say was Rack. Raphael Ambrosius. Yes, Gusto.
No, the alphanumeric begins with HDB.
Good. How long does it take to read one of those Raphael stamped cases?
Fine. It takes about half an hour for you to piece one together. Mr. Raphael, which one do you want?
The Next World Mural, The Unsolvable Case, Square Bullet Hole, Touched. Murder at the Hookah Bar.
Murder. Tum 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 at the Hookah Parlor was a case originally assigned to an officer called Joseph Mills, who is now dead, of circumstances completely unconnected to murder at the Hookah Parlor.
Wait, how?
Beaten to death by a throng of Villalobos gang members when him and his partner J.M., only initials mentioned, answered a call one night. It's a sad story, and it isn't really represented in your case files. Stop stalling and get to the murder at the Hookah Parlor. Right. Joseph Mills was on this case that he just couldn't solve, was doing it solo, said it was a real nutcracker, a real brain twister, was on it for, like, a month. The captain got impatient. Shit or get off the pot, Mills.
Mills? Wait, what was my initials again? Damn it. HDB. No, Mills is the partner.
Mills didn't get off the pot. Not yet. He kept at it for a couple of weeks more, racking his brains, running with every theory, as outlandish as they seemed. Still couldn't solve the murder at the Hookah Parlor. Tough case, he said. Toughest he's ever had.
Was Joseph Mills a good cop?
No, he was awful. Awful sense of humor, too. The worst jokes you've ever heard. Really rapey. Still, he'd been on it for months now. Said it was the final case. Said it was uncrackable. That murderer vanished into thin air. That goddamn Hookah Parlor was all he talked about.
Go on.
Okay, so the case is handed to you because Mills isn't getting anywhere, and you look into it. Here's the setup. A young man is found dead in a hookah parlor. You know, those places where you go and smoke bubblegum-flavored vapor all day.
You get high off of it?
No, it's soot and water vapor. It doesn't do anything.
Cool.
Yeah, really lame. So anyway, young man in his 20s found with his skull busted open, right on the floor of the hookah parlor, in the middle of the day. No one else is in there. Only client that day. In perfect health, too. Some kind of movie producer. No one enters. No one exits. He's just sucking on his watermelon hookah all morning, all noon, like he usually does. He's a regular. No calls, nothing. Just sucking on the hookah until 15:45. Then bam, he's dead on the floor with his skull busted open, blood everywhere. What happened? How can it be? Mills has no idea. Invisible assassin, movie deal gone sour. Girl at the counter did it. Nothing fits. Eerie. Man just dropped dead. So you go to the parlor. You see cushions around the table. Tables low, heavy, really sharp edge. See? You can't even read the thing without solving it. Yeah, it was that. Turns out hookah does do something. It turns off your brain's oxygen supply, and you don't notice it until you get up to go to the bathroom.
Must have sucked a lot of it. What was he doing there for 6
Smoking
hours?
hookah. Didn't you hear? I don't know. Trying to come up with a movie script, maybe. Anyway, that was Murder at the Hookah Parlor. Joseph Mills wasn't a good detective, and about 30 minutes has passed piecing it together. Next.
Oh! Hobo Cop. It seems bad. Ungainly and rambling, breakthrough is imminent. I can forget this one, but I can't forget this one. Oh, I should have probably not done that now that I think about it. Oh well, it'll probably help somehow. Alright, next world mural.
This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, nay, a mural, appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. The building is a sparsely inhabited ghost tower, part of a failed real estate development called Grand Couronne. The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The text cut into their form reads, "True love is possible only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class. People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. You and your partner are assigned to the case." The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the bell lectures have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the Next World mural, as the crew calls it, remains an unknown.
Read
The
on.
crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner, JV, is against the removal, citing
partner.
public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock, ending in a rare plebiscite organized by you and the rest of Row 3. The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villa Lobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between 2 options, a staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority, and that love truly is possible in the next world for new people, and it is too late for us.
All that remains is to wreak havoc in the middle class. I like it, but can't we wreak havoc on other nations instead? To remove the thing, because I don't believe in that rubbish one bit.
Did anyone
Intimidation.
ask you what you believe in, man with the smelly toilet ledger? What do you want to tackle next?
Man
Or are
with
we
a
done?
smelly toilet ledger. Jeez.
AKA Leslie and Burke, AKA the public indecency drunk and the property damage drunk, is a cursed case. It has been passed from unsuspecting officer to unsuspecting officer for 10 years. On January 29, the unsolvable case made its way to you. Why you accepted it, it is unclear. Every officer, and indeed most civilians in Jamrock, know it's unsolvable.
It's been 10
You were
years.
so
Of course you
drunk,
can't solve
you
it.
didn't remember what it was when you signed on. That, or you were high. Leslie will always take his pants off when he's drunk. Burke will always trash everything. It's just what they do. It is their nature. You cannot change the nature of a man. And you can't lock them away because public indecency and small-scale property damage are not punishable by incarceration. The only way for Leslie to stop displaying his genitals and for Burke to stop attacking things would be for them to stop drinking alcohol, which in their 40s or 50s, it's hard to tell because of their distorted features, is a medical improbability.
Couldn't I have just kept them off the streets?
You would think that, but you're wrong. Where's the fun in exposing your genitals or breaking stuff in your own home? No, Leslie and Burke are on the corner of Main Street and Perdition, because that's where the action is. Threatening, fines, dragging them to the station, locking them up in the hellholes they live in, locking them up in the station, hypnotherapy, even trying to get the local gang of Zemyaki to take them out. The Zemyaki gave them ethanol, so Burke and Leslie would expose and rampage even harder. You tried it all, and still the complaints wouldn't stop, as they hadn't stopped for 10 years. It's plain to see from the files that you, Satellite Officer JV, and Special Consultant TH had more important cases to attend to. You uncover cross-reference to several ongoing investigations, each brought to a standstill every time you drive down Main Street. Because there they are, on the corner of Perdition. And what is Leslie doing? Good, you're learning. If the files are to be trusted, that's all there is to it. That and Burke breaking things, and the fact that they're both drunk. But then again, so are you. The case becomes considerably less comic one day when Burke takes a swing at your ledger. He must have it confused with the property he likes to damage. But the joke's on him. You're drunk out of your mind on potent Pilsner. You slam the hardened plastic board in his face. Then you proceed to beat him unconscious with it.
Jeez.
In the process, the ledger sustains damage. The compartment within, reserved for permeable documents, is jammed shut. You stop your assault on the now unconscious Burke to open it, but are unable to do so. The officer began to cry, reports Leslie, who, at this point, is tending to Burke. He came at us, and at us. I think he was trying to kill Burko. While trying to kill Burko, you slowly come around. The permeables compartment is open. You've smashed it open on poor Burko's kneecaps. The good news is, Burke can't walk anymore.
Jeez.
Can't get out of his apartment, an invalid. With Burke to tend to, Leslie cuts back on the indecent exposure. Maybe he flashes his genitals to Burke. Who knows? But both drunks are off the street. The complaints stop. The unsolvable case is solved.
I solved it! By beating the shit out of Burke.
Which is also why the officer responsible narrowly escapes a disciplinary hearing. The end.
Sweet.
Does that sound like a Raphael something Costo to you, sir?
One last time. Yes!
Fine then. You've earned it.
Detective Cousteau! 2 minus 2 to conceptualization. An idiotic idea research for 2 hours. It's funny. Detective Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau. When you say it, it feels like you're taking a bite of lemon meringue when sitting on the terrace of a seaside cafe on a cool summer's day. That's fucking hilarious. I'm actually gonna give up on it next time if he asks about it. But I'm glad that I pushed.
It would be very interesting to read about these, wouldn't it? I mean, there seems to be a square-shaped entry wound in the victim's forehead. She's been sitting there for weeks, on her rocking chair, with a square hole in her skull, staring at the wall, her mouth agape. That's all you got. From the half hour you spent piecing it together, all you know is the entry wound was square-shaped. You never found the bullet. And then another body showed up, also with a square hole in his forehead. Who knows? Those pages are missing. What next? Don't worry. One day.
What?
One day you may still catch the man with the square gun.
Don't worry. One day you may still catch the man with the square gun. I love that. The couch at an
Some
unexpected location.
assholes brought their couch outside and hung out on it. In the middle of the street, on the roof, on the hillside by the motorway. You know, at an unexpected location. They were young, and they thought they looked cool on it.
Yeah, sure, they look like
Insufferable
assholes.
dicks. Young people are the worst.
Sounds about
So
right.
anyway, you got a complaint about the damn sofa, or couch, or whatever it is.
was.
They were leaving it out in all these unexpected and whimsical locations. They took it to where they also took photos of themselves on it, and smoked cigarettes, and drank coffee because they felt it's intellectual. Cigarette butts, coffee cups, stupid couch. You had to clean it all up, and you did. So congratulations to you. Case solved.
Did I ever
No,
catch them?
you didn't have time for that. These notes show that you have what is called a real goddamn job. You don't have time to be chasing down the couch assholes. You have a real job to do. What next? Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard.
Oh! It's easier now that I know how I fucked it up.
It takes about half an hour to piece one. Not much has changed in the
Alright,
meanwhile.
let's try and
A
fucking
bunch of
do it.
sodden papers still. The two sides of the board
Yes.
appear slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off its slides. If you bend the plastic on your knee slowly, the slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just, you know. Without
slide the door
resistance or sound,
A
the
little
two
door.
panels move against each other. The compartment is now open.
What's
Two
inside?
ticket stubs and a handmade postcard.
Pick up the
Two
ticket
octopuses
stubs.
are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs extra. These let you go there too.
Oh, neat. Fucking kill what? Jeez. Close the permeable compartment. Pick up the card.
Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers, floral patterns, patches of glue.
Let's put that.
Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card. Looped, round letters in a woman's hand. A
Familiar.
young woman in her 20s. There is care, effort, and a smile, you think. Although that is not something you can read from someone's handwriting. Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Maybe it will make you happy. Throw it away, please.
But it'll make me happy.
A merciful wind blows in from the bay of Revachol, dusting the ground at your feet and raising newspapers far away. You feel the card slipping into it.
Hold on to it and read the card.
Your hands shake, holding onto it. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, it says, I find a little piece of sadness in me. I carry it in my chest, down Voyager Road. Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. I know it will be like this until late afternoon, when I get off the 42 and walk back to you.
Stop and put it
You
back.
jam the compartment shut. It's hard to breathe. The air in your lungs feels sour somehow. The drawer is locked. Blue ink drips from the white pages in your hand. Without resistance or sound, the two panels move its slightly,
I
ever
might
so
not have wanted to
slightly.
open that,
Difficult
but
to breathe
let's
once
put
you've
it
done
away.
so.
I still need I need a neck thing and glasses.
Hobocop.
Hobocop. Oh wait, bonuses from the thought. Reveals extra special collections. Oh, temporary. While you're researching it, you take a defect. Ah, I should have paid attention to that.
Yeah, you better keep walking.
More money from selling tear. Learning cap for shivers raised to 6. Reveals extra special collector's edition Terry bottle on the map. Ah.
Look at me when I'm talking to you.
A sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to the apartment building. It's locked. The door rattles against your knuckles, but there's no response. The door rattles again, but this time you hear an elderly woman's voice calling out from inside.
Stop banging on the door! I'm not letting any more strangers inside.
This is the police. Open the. Who am I
Doesn't
speaking
matter
to?
who I am. No,
I'm the police.
The police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here.
But I'm not
No.
joking.
I already told you. I won't be responsible for any more strangers getting into the building. Go check the backyard door. Maybe someone there will.
Backyard door. There must be another entrance to the east.
Okay.
Hey, up here, piggo.
Okay, well, that's everything there, I think. Maybe, possibly. Free trash! I've been kicked out of every joint in Rivershaw. Yeah, he's drunk. A splatter of bullet holes lines the wall. Ah, yeah, so that's the car. Maybe a sea monster did this to the plaza. The damage looks like it could have been caused by an earthquake. That's more possible than a sea monster. Sadly. I want to look at my face now, finally. Before I lose access to this apartment. I mean, to this hotel.
A mirror hangs on the wall, covered in steam. As you slowly reach your hand towards the surface of the mirror. Abort. You clearly have not thought this through. Behold. You have no idea who this thing is, do you?
Dear Lord help me, what is this? Of course I do. It's some kind of superstar. I think I'm a superstar. This is the star. This is the face of a late-stage alcoholic.
It appears you're also dead. There's clearly rigor mortis on your face. Or wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression with that face? Why?
I think it might be because I'm a superstar. I'm not making it. The face is making it itself.
Please stop. It's horrible. You're scaring yourself.
This is what superstars do. Keep
You
making
can't,
the face.
can you? It's like it's not even voluntary anymore. You have worn that grin into your face, and now it won't come off. What does it even mean? What is the emotion
Superstardom.
you're trying to convey?
God, I don't know. It's indescribable. Think it's supposed to look suggestive. I'm afraid. I meant for the ladies. I'm insinuating that I'm vaguely sympathetic. I think I'm sort of pulling it off too, in a sad has-been kind of way. There's a kind of charm to
There
it.
might have been 10 years ago. It's little more than a cadaverous spasm now.
There's 3 checks for this. And this one's very low somehow, and this one's low. Use your chain cutters to fix the faucet. Stop steam from fogging up the mirror. Dig deep.
Like the rest of you, it comes from a bad place somewhere in the past. That's all you know for now.
Nah, I don't want to stop the expression. Use the chain cutters to fix the faucet. Stop steam from fogging up the mirror. Let the mirror be. I now have a face. Wait, shit, actually. No. Would that be in the next room somehow? For some reason? Wait, can I interact with the fan yet?
This fan, or has it been
Okay. Also, there's music downstairs. Nothing on the front page rings a bell. Strange. Map. Map formation incomplete. Acquire a copy of the city map. How do I get a map though? That's a good question. I also need a gardener, so just add it to the fucking list of shit I need. Oh right, I was gonna talk to them because but for some reason you can't right there. I haven't talked to these people yet. Yeah. Wait. Oh wait, can I steal the trash? From the trash?
The trash container stand? The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste. The container sounds a muffled gong.
Damn, shame. But there is trash near it. And I'm here, and I was told to ask Kuno about the clothes.
Fuck does Kuno care?
I keep throwing up, and I can't investigate the body at all. Found a shack.
You found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack. It was closed for 5,000 years. How the fuck did you get in?
Push the panel aside, Kuno. I phase shifted through the roofing material. Before we go on with that, let's talk about how you said it was just some roofing material. Some gimps left behind. That was a lie. Nah, I phase shifted through it.
Shit. Get the fuck out of here. You can't do that.
He can't do that, Kuno. He's trying to fuck at you again.
Pigs can't displace. Can't do that teleport shit.
He says it
How's you
himself.
like it in there, pig old boy? Kuno's got a lot of cool shit there, right?
What's the pig head? What a plate covered with a powder residue. Know anything about it? What about the tube of magnesium? Kuno. Is that my coat up there? I'm pretty sure it's mine. Point to your coat, waving in the wind. Could I get into the harbor from the roof? I'm interested in all of this.
That?
What's with the fucking
Kuno
pighead?
decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape.
That's terrible. He also graffitied one of the fucking eye things. Were you trying to send me a message of some sort? Demo tape? Try some kind of musician. Cool pighead. I liked it. I got one too. This one, point at your head. Shit. Forget it. I'm not saying those things. You trying to send me a message of some sort?
Yeah, to the both of you. Watch your ass in Kuno's town, or Kuno's gonna fuck your head off.
Found a plate covered in powder
That's
residue.
where Kuno gets his daily hit of electric. Kuno Shazam. Kuno rides the fucking lightning in their pig.
Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too, wouldn't you? You feel tired and old, but you could have that sparkle in your eyes.
There's a tube of magnesium.
It's a vitamin pig. Don't you know anything?
Like you just pointed at the sun and asked what it was. It's magnesium, right? Okay, whatever.
Okay, whatever. You fucking need that shit to stay on top of your game. Kuno goes through like a tube a day, and you look like you could use a battle.
Fuck.
Don't teach him, Kuno! He's gonna use it against you, Kuno!
I know all about magnesium. I rock it all the time.
You're not getting this, pig. It completely takes away the hangover. It's like you didn't do anything. Like you stayed home playing with your choo-choo.
Yeah, sure, with your eyes bulging.
You,
I believe that.
Mag. You're gonna OD and you're gonna fucking die.
It's just magnesium. Is that my coat up there? Pretty
Is
sure
it?
that's mine.
You got pretty fucked. Kuno's surprised you've still got your head after all that.
After all, what?
Don't sweat it, drunk pig. Kuno will keep your nasty secret. Kuno's not snitching.
He's saying you climbed up there. He probably saw you do it.
Shit, I did?
That explains the calluses on your hands. You scaled the side of the building, entertaining the local kids.
Did I get to the harbor from up there?
Of course you fucking can. How do you think Kuno made all the docky boys his gimps? Just gotta fly, pig.
Got to jump to get there? My age and my
Not
condition?
everyone can fly like Kuno. You're old. You'll never make it. Moose piss has made you scared in the head.
That's all there is to it then. Don't be a pansy. Just jump.
Look, physical instrument. If it was about being a physical instrument to do that, I would. But it's not.
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom. The fuck about it?
Do you know how it got up there? Do you know who he was?
Kuno's fuck gimp. Kuno uses the fuck gimp for target practice.
You know how he got up
Probably
there?
climbed. Kuno was busy down the road when that shit went down.
So he didn't
You
say
ain't
anything.
Kuno. Kuno wasn't even in Martinez. Kuno wasn't in Revachol. Kuno wasn't regional.
Okay. Where did you go
I
then?
don't know. Some fucking
Trying to come up with
Mesk
something.
or I don't know. Some other place. Night City. Kuno was in fucking Night City.
Where is
Kuno
Night
gives
City?
this info out on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. Kuno didn't smoke the gimp, if that's what you meant.
Shit. Oh well. Do you know how it got up there? Do you know who he was? More on this
You're
later.
testing Kuno's.
Get lost!
The
Why is
fuck
it
do you want with it?
doing this again?
Oh, that? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo. Yeah, Kuno plays on Snuff Radio. fucks pigs live, fucks their heads off. It's a vitamin pig. Yeah, it's the mag. You fucking need that shit to stay on top.
Oh, don't teach him, Kuno!
You're not getting this pig. It completely takes...
Fuck you, pig! Don't do mag!
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom.
Can't investigate the body
like
at all.
a fucking volcano. Yeah. Fucking pathetic.
You're lucky you didn't die there!
Maybe you got some advice for me? I mean, you are obviously handling it quite well.
Yeah. Kuno's got some advice for you. What are you? Like 80, right? Maybe you should stop embarrassing yourself in front of a fucking kid.
Perhaps you could compress this negative energy and turn it into some sort of a Kuno-fied non-vomiter.
Kuno-fied non-vomiter. Kuno-fied non-vomiter, here I come.
That's right. Turn your weaknesses into conceptual strengths. Try it again now.
Okay, I'm off.
Kuno doesn't fucking...
Will that actually let me retry it?
There he still is, looking right through you with his
Freaking
wide
why?
eyes.
It keeps